Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel. Tap the notification bell. I'd appreciate it majorly. So, I don't even know if this is going to be a video. I just have a little time, and it's taking on just a tiny project just to kind of clean that up and make it better. I am not a carpenter. I do my best. I've gotten lots better after, years of sort of working with other contractors at my parents' rental properties and watching them and just getting better at it. So, but I got myself a 4x8 piece of plywood, 0.5 something thickness, seems appropriate for that. And I'm just gonna rip that up and try to make it better. I mean, it's just totally gross. You can like step through it. This is like all dirt, which is, I think, been pushed there by water from our pool that used to drain right under the shed. Already making pretty good progress. It's total mush, I mean, it's what I expected, but this is good. This is like very, very strong, very healthy. It's probably been there for many years. I don't know. So it's all cleaned up, as good as it needs to be. I might do a little bit more, and I had a sort of a predicament here because the joist is all the way over there, and my piece is 4x8, 4 feet only comes out to about here, and I don't really want to cut it into two pieces and put one this way and one that way. I'm gonna go right over top. It's not level anyways. I may have to put some pieces over there going this way, 2x4s, underneath, so it doesn't sag when you step in that area. And I may even put like a 2x4 underneath here, flat, for the new piece to screw into it through this board into the 2x4 to kind of sandwich it together, and that'll be good enough. Believe me, it just doesn't need to be perfect. So yeah, there's a squirrel under there for sure, and those are walnuts, and I'm gonna clean this. I'm cutting out some of this stuff. It's all rotted, man. It's so bad. I'm just trying to make it a little bit better, and not go crazy because it's totally wasted, But I'll try to rejuvenate. All right, I went further than I intended to. I ripped out a 2x6 that ran the length of the, or that corner portion that was totally rotted out. So it's getting a little more complicated. I should be able to just put one in there. It doesn't level up with everything. There was some kind of subfloor on top of it too, between the 2x4 that ran there and the 2x6 itself. Then there was like either the old rotted floor, but I think there was like a subfloor too. I don't know. Getting it all kind of lined up is what worries me, and but I'm gonna do it now, and that's life. So, but in order to get one solid board in there, it was pretty much impossible without coming from the outside. So I've dug up the outside. There was just some bricks lined up along there, as well as some 4x4s that basically form the perimeter of the bed there. But I'll have to put that back together, obviously. But at least this way, I'll be able to screw from this direction, from the outside. It can even put a couple of pieces, maybe even one there, to firm it up so that I'm screwing into really good, hard, healthy wood, even though these are pretty decent. But at some ends, it's rotted naturally. But I even can line it up to the end of my piece there, to here. There's a concrete block in some places in the corner that basically form a foundation kind of thing. So that should give me some kind of level structure to put it on, and I'll put it all in place before I actually screw it down, because a 2x4 I have to go on top of that these studs screw into, and then I'll go into them from angles. So that's where I am. I'm almost ready to put in my 2x6. I think I dug out enough because I got to go in like up and swiveled in like this, and so I had to dig out a little more here. Hopefully that's enough. If not, I'll just keep digging until I can fit it in there, but I'm getting there. It's in, I mean, it's not screwed down yet, and that's the hardest part right there, I think. So that's good. I still got issues, but everything's doable. I'm gonna have to shave each little 2x4 because I'm going to put another 2x4 along that for this to rest on, but it's just a little bit taller than the previous board, and you know, so I have to shave each little one. But that's doable, but a pain. And that's the hardest part. I guess that's good. Made some excellent progress. I think I'm pretty happy with it so far, and it's getting close to where it gets to be really easy. So I did put it, you know, I fastened that in, screwed it all in. I put a couple pieces to help shore it up. I didn't even screw it in down at the end there. I probably should do it one or two screws. But anyways, it's looking good. And I put a little concrete down in there, quick dry. Filled this up, you know, because what I think is water just will make its way anywhere, you know, even if it's out there and it's so flooded, the weight of the water may push it up into here, you know, maybe, I don't know. So I threw a little crushed stone under my, I had some extra quick dry cement, so I threw it under there. Over in there is a huge cement block, huge, you know, that basically is like the corner of the foundation. There's another one over here, but that was just dirt, and I had some extra cement, so I threw it under there. You know, it's looking good. I've already trimmed all those. I can fit a 2x4 underneath them pretty easily, you know, like so. I'll put a full one. I'm going to use a pressure treated one, whether or not that's necessary, I don't know, but I bought one. And I might have to shim it over there a little bit because it's just a little bit different, but whatever, that's good enough, man. This is so much more than I planned to do. So from the outside, same thing, but it looks decent, and you know, that's basically complete. And then I'll have to put all that back, throw some dirt down, bricks, and then some 4x4s. I'm probably gonna fill the gaps with this stuff. This is for windows and doors. And it's good, they're good, man. I mean, you know, as long as you don't overuse this stuff for the right application, it's very good. It's good for windows and doors. And use windows and doors if you're doing windows and doors, because the other stuff that fills bigger gaps can ruin your windows and doors and actually force the 2x4s to bow, you know. But I'll probably fill this in certain spots and corners, wherever the 2x4 doesn't fill. And probably gonna hit that with just like some wood filler and glue. I mean, these are all the products that I like to use. You know, it's all in proper certain situations. I use wood filler a lot, man. Too much. But in some places it's very good, you know, because I don't want to cut out that whole piece. There's already another piece put behind it. So I just kind of chipped away with a multi-tool and grinded away the dead stuff, the wet stuff. I'll even add a little wood glue to my wood filler. I like to do that sometimes. Wood glue. Put some wood filler in there and put a board in there. Cut it just right so I can put another board just to fill it, you know. And after that dries tomorrow, tonight I'm gonna screw down all these. The 2x4s are in place, and mark all these things with a marker so that I know where to screw in my piece of plywood. And but I'm gonna let that dry overnight. I'll stick a 2x4 here, and then I'm probably gonna squirt, you know, spray that foam insulation into here, that little opening there, over in that corner. Wanted to give you one more last look before I'm just about finished. You know, I cut out a piece of plastic that I'm going to put over that whole area and staple it down as good as I can. And, you know, I put a 2x4 in over there all the way up to the top of the frame or whatever. Sprayed that great stuff, gap filler insulation, which is really good, but it's difficult to work with, you know. And the instructions, you just have to read the instructions, but they tell you to practice it before you do it a little bit. Now I'm just going to swivel the plywood in place and screw it down. Try not to rip my plastic in the process. Putting the outside back together. Already backfilled the dirt, and use a brick to kind of level it off. Put the bricks back in place, a couple layers of them, 2x4s, 4x4s, and that'll be done. it's complete for at least for the time being. I'm happy with that, and you know, I'm not thrilled with the additional piece of plywood I had to sort of just place under there to join the old plywood with the new section, because the joist is about like here. There's another joist in the underneath the new plywood about there, and but the whole floor's got issues. This was the worst part though. Most of everywhere else is firm, and even though it's not perfect, it's still fairly like firm when you walk on it. It's you know, pretty solid. I put the spray and foam installation, the great stuff, which is quite useful. This stuff is a little tricky to work with, you know, so it tells you to practice first, which is not a bad idea. But once you get the hang of it, you know, it goes pretty good. You have a tendency to over apply. You're supposed to only put like half of what you expect it to fill, because it expands into place. And you know, that came out pretty good. I filled in that area there, deep in there, and I had to kind of just cut it away. But I don't care how it looks. I just kind of want to fill that. I put a full 2x4 there, you know, all the way up to the top, and screwed it in place there. I screwed a couple of 2x4s in place up at top to make it even stronger. I used the balance of this can up in the interior faucet, because that's another issue I have with great stuff is a lot of times you only need a little of the can and you never use it up. But once you've kind of started using it, it goes bad. It dries up, clogs up the applicator, and there's almost no way to salvage it. So hopefully, I mean, what you probably should do is think of other places you need to use it, to use up the rest of the can before you even begin this job, which is what I did up there. And that's pretty much it. You know, I'm pretty happy with it. It's good enough, dude. Good enough. And outside, it's all filled in, and the bricks are in place. And you know, I'll put 4x4s over there, and they're like that I have on the other side of the shed. I'm probably gonna touch that up with paint once more before it gets cold. And I'm done, man. I'm done. And that's the story there, man. Thanks for watching my videos. This wasn't like you know, an instructional. It was just kind of showing you something. A project I was going to take on. Kind of like making a video of it as I go. Sort of keeps me company and keeps me honest. Makes sure I do a good job, or try to do a good job. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.